I am really honored to have my good friend Kayla Chatkewicz, and she is the CEO of Smiling Media, and basically that her website, it deals with with providing clients with strong and powerful presence in social media. And she is also the architect, one of the architects behind the Twitter chat called MS Chat, which happens every Monday night at 6 p.m. Central, 7 p.m. Eastern. And she's here with me right now to chat about her career and also MS Chat. So, Kayla, welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me. This is so awesome, and I'm honored that you would ask me to have an interview with you. So I'm really looking forward to it.
Thank you, Kayla. Thank you for taking the time out of your busy schedule. Well, let's do a little icebreaker, which I'm going to change it up a bit now with sports. So do you have a favorite sports team, and what is and if so,
sorry, can you repeat that? You cut out a little bit, Chet.
Yes. Can you have your favorite sports? Do you have a favorite sports team? And if so, can you tell us about
my favorite sports team has got to be the Toronto Maple Leafs. They play for the NHL. They have been my favorite team since I was little. I've been watching them since I was little, and year after year, I pray and hope for them to make it to the playoffs. But year after year, they let me down. But I'm still a true fan, so hopefully. This year they make it further and hopefully get to win the Stanley Cup.
I definitely understand what you mean, Kayla. I'm a Chicago Cubs fan for baseball reference, so I understand that feeling of hoping for the Cubs.
Yeah.
Hopefully they'll make it this year as well. So let's talk about your be a company called Smile Media Inc. Can you share?
Sure, not a problem. It's actually new. It just launched, and it's legally official as of August 6th. It's Smilin Media Incorporated. Basically, it's a social media marketing company that I started on my own, and we deal with multiple clients to build the clients' reputation on social media in a strong and powerful way. So we deal with social media marketing, content marketing, SEO services, all of that fun stuff, anything to do with digital marketing. And that's basically the gist of it. So, yeah.
Okay. So, what led you to start?
So, back in 2012, actually, this is part of my story. I love these questions because I love telling my story. And I think when people tell their stories, it adds a great touch to a conversation and everything. So thank you for asking. Back in 2012, I started my own, nonprofit online community organization called Keep Smilin'. And Keep Smilin' is actually spelled Smyelin. So it's not the usual smiling you see. And I'll talk about that a little later. But yeah, back in 2012, I started Keep Smilin', and it's basically an organization to raise multiple sclerosis awareness. So MS, that's the short form for multiple sclerosis. MS is actually a chronic illness, and it affects the central nervous system. So what happens is, I won't really get into the nitty gritty about it, but basically your autoimmune system is attacking your own body. So I was actually diagnosed in 2012, and I woke up one day, I'm like, okay, I need to do something or else I'm just going to drive myself crazy. So that's why I started Keep Smilin'. So I turned to Instagram, I turned to Twitter, I turned to Facebook, and I connected with other people who also had the same problem. And I noticed that there wasn't really a strong community for the MS patients all around the world. So that's why I started Keep Smilin'. Now, to get to Smilin' Media, after a couple months, back, like I said, I started back in 2012. And after starting Keep Smilin', I'm like, I'm really loving this. I'm really loving the relationships I'm building and the community I'm building. So I'm like, this is a full-time job. To keep up with everything, to keep up with all the content and everything, it was like a full-time job. So I actually was all my life planning on being a teacher. But however, one day I just woke up and I'm like, no, I am not meant to be a teacher. I am meant to be a social media marketer. So I went to school for a social media marketing program. I graduated last year, and yeah, that's basically what got me to Smile and Media. So that's my story, pretty much in a nutshell.
That's really awesome. Now you've mentioned, like, beforehand you would think about becoming a teacher, but of course,
Yeah.
you study history, I believe,
Yeah.
in undergrad. Now, for many like students, like college students, who might be thinking about, they might first want to be like a teacher, but then and major in history, but then decide to change the subject. Like what would you say to them? Like, like how would they know for sure what is their
Right. That was
what
a
they're meant to do in
question
their
that I
lives?
was asking myself. I remember I was applying to teachers' colleges and I got accepted to all 4 of them that I applied to. And I remember asking myself, am I really supposed to teach? Is that my calling? Is that something that I'm passionate about? Now, I realized for myself, I loved children and I loved all of that, but I wasn't as passionate about it as I was with social media marketing. And I mean, sometimes it takes a bump in the road to figure out your passion. Like with me and getting diagnosed with MS, that was a huge bump in the road for me. But sometimes you have to get to your bottom, like to your rock bottom, in order to find your true passion. And I mean, it can be scary, like changing from one thing to another overnight. It can be totally scary because, like with me, I was really new at, well, not really new because I did have experience with Keep Smiling, but educational wise, like I was new at that. So I was scared, but you know what? Changing your passion, it's all about risks. It's all about taking risks, and it's all about just following your heart and following exactly what you want to do in life, and what's going to make you happy is one of the most important things too. So
Okay. Now I gotta ask, for the Keep Smiling, like you started a chat on Twitter called MS Chat, and it's like looking through it for a bit, it's really awesome. Can you
yeah,
share
for
more
sure.
about that with
So
us?
my first Twitter chat was probably a year ago, and it was by Pam Moore. It's Get Real Chat every Thursday night. I think that's where you and me met, actually. Yeah.
I
Thank
think
God for
so.
that. So I loved it. I love Twitter chats. You know how much I love Twitter chats. Like, I'm crazy for Twitter chats. I love talking with everybody and learning new things and networking with other people. And I noticed that there's Twitter chats for everything out there, like from sports to fitness to all kinds of anything you can think of. There's a Twitter chat for. And I noticed that there wasn't a Twitter chat for MS or chronic illnesses in general. So me and a friend of mine, his name's Randy, he's the founder of Must Stop MS. I went up to him and I asked him, hey, how do you feel about doing a Twitter chat? And he had no idea what a Twitter chat was. So after I explained it to him, he was really game for it. He was really onto it. Like we've built ourselves a really strong and loyal and supportive community. So we already knew that people would hop right on board for the MS.
Oh,
And it was really awesome. I remember the first day we launched it. It was kind of scary because we were scared of, what if no one shows up to the party or anything like that. But you know what? It was successful and it was great. It was fun. It was overwhelming, but it was so much fun. And we're getting lots of compliments about it. How people, they're learning. They don't feel as alone as they once did. And things like that. Like it's all about the community, and that's what matters the most to me. And that's my end goal for Chat MS, is for people to come together and discuss things that they go through.
wow. So, and you touched on the word community, which I can say, like, for those that will be listening to this show later on, we're recording on Blab, and this platform is bringing people together, like a huge community here. So, like, what do you think? People need to to trust each other, like to build friendships if they're like dealing with adversity?
The thing is, with me, I tend to be a little impatient at times, and I know a lot of people can be, but from my experience, like I said, I started this back in 2012. Only now am I seeing people, like I know like 1,000 people who have MS just through Instagram and another 1,000 people just through Twitter. But I can say that I personally know who they are because now they have trust in me. To build a community and to get trust out of your community, it's not going to happen in one night, a week, a month, and it may not even happen in a year. It's been over 3 years for me, and only recently am I seeing a sense of community who trust and keep smiling. And to have trust, not only do you need time and effort, you need to engage with them. That's one of the most important things on social media in itself. You need to engage with your community, give them a reason to trust you. If they comment on one of your Instagram pictures, comment back and let them know that they actually matter to you. So those are the three things: time, effort, and engagement to build a community. Those are the most important things in my eyes.
Yeah, I definitely agree. Now, of course, like, for those that will be watching, and will be listening, my friend Kayla is in Toronto and I'm in Houston, and this is really awesome to be able to, like, chat with a friend on, even though we're like thousands of miles apart. So it's really awesome. And the fact of the matter is like, it's like we all need each other to build up one another, especially with Twitter, and then Twitter, and then this platform Blab. It really builds up friends, and it's really amazing, big time. And now, Kayla, I gotta get back to your business. What are the challenges of running a business?
For me, because I incorporated my business, and everyone was telling me to incorporate. And one of the biggest challenges was just the fear in general. Like, what if it's not successful? What if nothing comes out of it? Or is it all for nothing? Am I going through all of the paperwork, the lawyers, the accountants, everything for nothing? Am I going through all of that for nothing? But besides that, am I working so hard and I'm putting in all my effort to make this a success for me and to make this my career? What if nothing turns out? So that's probably one of the biggest challenges when opening up a business and starting out. It's just fear of the future. But I wake up every morning and I tell myself I'm going to have a good day and today's going to be a successful day. So you just got to keep positive and keep smiling always.
Yep, definitely agree. Now, the flip side of the question is, what are the rewards of running a business?
I'm the boss. No, I'm joking. The rewards, like, I feel like for me, I've been through so much within the last couple of years, going through a diagnosis and changing my whole career path last minute. And now I have my own company. Like that is such an accomplishment in my eyes. Anyone who has their own company, whether it is successful or not, the fact that you got there and you had that mindset and you had that drive to try and make something out of your life, that's an accomplishment of itself. And that's one of the benefits. And I salute everyone who, even if you don't have your own business, anybody who's hustling and waking up early and staying up late night and working as hard as they can just to make it through. You guys are awesome. Keep doing it. That's one of the rewards.
Yeah, definitely agree. And of course, like for social media, like I kind of noticed at times that, many might use social media just to market their business and try to sell to you, and they're not, developing great friendships, with you and during the trust. So can you share with us like some tips for businesses or anyone who are trying to build their personal brand or the business?
So business wise, I read a stat yesterday. 1 in 6 businesses respond to any inquiries or customer service related questions or any incoming messages they get. Only 1 out of 6. So that means 5 businesses out of 6 don't care about what their audience on social media has to say. And to me, it's insane because social media is booming and social media is not going anywhere. So the first tip I would give to businesses is respond to every single message you get. Respond to every single person who is giving your brand and giving your business on social media attention. If you're getting attention from somebody, you need to give them attention back in order for people to trust you and to engage with your business. With saying that, the second tip I would give is engaging and making people trust you and making people want to be involved in your community. And in order to do that, they need to have trust. So you have to give them something that's going to make them trust you. And I can go on forever. Now, for personal branding, I mean, most importantly, just be you. Be authentic, be real, show your true self. My friends call me, they say that I could be really bubbly sometimes. And so I try to showcase that through my social media efforts. So my boss even told me the other day, he's like, Kayla, you have to stop with the exclamation points. And I'm like, but I'm so excited. So with building your personal brand, you need to showcase a little of your personality and showcase what you're passionate about and just be real. And there you have your personal brand. If you're into sports, like you said, start all your interviews with asking a sports related question. If you're into, I don't know, chocolate bars, show the chocolate bar you're eating today. Even fun little things like that. They're fun and they're interesting and people want to know that about you. So.
Yeah, definitely. Now I normally don't get I normally will give podcasters, broadcasters, or the farmer to ask me a question on the show. So, but since this is this is the first time hosting this podcast, recording this podcast on Blab, I'm going to allow you to ask me a question, Kayla.
Okay.
So, fire away.
What should I ask? What are you doing right now, Chev? Sorry, that's a really lame and boring question, but I just.
No, that's not. Like, what am I doing right now? Like,
work.
Can you elaborate? Work-wise. Okay. Well, I am currently. I'm a writer. I run my own website called Volano Media, and I host my own podcast called What's the Word, for those that are watching and listening. And basically, at the moment, I'm currently working at a coffee shop at the moment, trying to make my businesses profitable, because as being an entrepreneur is one of the toughest but the most fun thing to do. And to be honest, it is a great journey, because I've seen so many people, doing what they love. I've seen you doing what you love with your media company, and I'm seeing others who are enjoying the freedom, even though they might not be making much money at the first. They're doing what they love, and that's the best part about that. And that's what I'm aspiring to. I will get there very soon.
I like how you mentioned that. In my eyes, a lot of people use success and finances, and they think success has to do with money, and for some people it does. That's great. If success in your eyes is all about the money, then that's one thing. But with me, being successful to me is doing what I love and being happy. That's really important. That success in my eyes, for the rest, I want to be happy. If you're doing something and you're working at a job that you're not, where you're not happy and you're not enjoying it and you're miserable half of the time, that you're not successful. However, if you're doing something that's making you happy, that's success in my eyes, and that's all that really matters. So good for you, Chef. I'm proud of you, buddy.
Definitely. Thank you, Kayla. I mean, you're really awesome. Now, I mean, it is really amazing though. At the same time, like like the fact that you're doing what you're doing, being on Twitter chats, and I know this might be a little different, but but I gotta ask this. In your eyes, what are your thoughts on Blab, and can you compare it to Twitter in a
So
sense?
Blab, it's to me, it's so fun. I feel like it's so fun. It's different than Twitter because, of course, you get to have that face-to-face uh, relationship, sort of. So you get to see your friends through Twitter, face-to-face, and sort of in real life, but just virtually in real life. Um, with Twitter, it's still fun. Like with Twitter chats, they're like online parties. Blab brings the online parties, in my eyes, to real life. So this is the fun part. I started using Blab about maybe 3 weeks ago. Actually, no, I'll say about a month ago since I got back from DC. I haven't been as active as I want to be, but when I first started it, I was addicted. I was totally addicted for like the first week. I couldn't stop. It felt like I don't need TV anymore. I got Blab. I don't need to use my television or watch Netflix or anything like that. I have Blab. The thing is, it's really engaging and it's a lot of fun, and I love it. I absolutely love it.
Yeah, I definitely agree. Now I gotta ask about that social road trip, which I know so many people about the social road trip and how that incorporates social media.
So have you cut
Uh-oh.
out a little bit?
Uh-oh. All right, sorry. Like, can you share more about the social road trip? Which you mentioned earlier, because
Yeah, so
I saw that
Social
was
Road
really
Trip, it's
awesome.
run by um, Amanda Vincenzo, Joel, and Matt. So what they try to do is they try to, bring our online little clans and bring the online world and all of us digital marketers, and even if you're not a digital marketer, what they try to do is bring us all together. So instead of meeting at a conference, I think they have content marketing going on right now. Instead of meeting at a conference, they just want us to meet up to have a good time. Um, it was a blast. It was really fun. It was a really good experience. I can't wait for the next one. They haven't announced where they're going to do the next one, but the thing with Social Road Trip, I love the most how it brings online relationships offline. And that's the whole point of social media too, is you want to bring, even with businesses or nonprofits, you want to have those relationships offline. Having relationships online is just one part of the marketing background of a business or a nonprofit or even a government agency. Um, the point is to make relationships both online and offline. And that's what I love about Social Road Trip. And that's exactly what they accomplished at our last Social Road Trip in DC. I talk to you guys every single day on Twitter and Facebook or whatever. And it was really great to see my Twitter friends in real life. And, me and Amanda shared rooms, and Bree and Alyssa were right next door. And we did the scavenger hunt. It was a lot of fun. It was fun, and I can't wait for the next one.
All right, that's awesome. Now three more questions. For you. If you had the opportunity to spend one day with someone you admired, past or present, to learn from, who would that person be?
I
Okay,
love him. I love his
and why?
attitude. I love how I can't even explain it. I love him. I think he's very intelligent. He's very motivating. He's very inspiring. And he's a smart guy, and he knows his stuff, and he'll put anybody in their place, which I love about too. I would actually be scared of him if I were to meet him in real life. I would be so scared of him. But that's who I would want to if I can get somebody from the online world, that's somebody I look up to. So that's somebody that I would want to meet in real life and gain some insights from.
All right. Now, where can people find out more
They
about
can go check me
your
out
work, Keep
on
Smiling?
Instagram, keep_smilin', Twitter, keep_smilin'. You can go to my website, keepsmilin.ca. That is KEEPSMYELIN. It's not smiling like SMILING. It's spelled a little differently because it's connected to something with MS, but that's where you can basically go to learn a little bit more about my nonprofit and what the whole goal is behind that.
All right. Well, Kayla, I want to say thank you for taking the time out of your busy schedule to be a part of What's the Word recording. I am really
For our
appreciative.
audience,
Now, do you
thank
have
you
any
guys
final
for
words for our
listening.
audience?
Thank you for tuning in. I had a blast with Chev. I'm really honored that Cheval chose me to interview me. We've been friends for a while now, and it's about time that we connected on Blab. And once again, thank you so much. And I can't wait to hear the podcast.